Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to Thursday night Z Talk.
Mhm.
Uh, it's nearly said Saturday because it's been Saturday the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
but yeah, thank you guys for joining me for episode 62. We've got my guests tonight from Patrick with Have Cheetah Will View. So hey Patrick.
Hey, Mike, how are you? Hi, Sin. Hi, Kieran.
Hello.
Hey man, doing well, doing well. Yeah, thank you for joining once again. Really do appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, this can be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And of course, returning once again is Sin from Sin's Corner. So, how are you doing, Sin?
I'm doing good. Very good. Very good. Excited about the movie I saw last night. So, yeah,
Right.
looking forward to getting that review out.
I look forward to watching it. And I believe tonight you've seen Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes, I'm right after this. I'm going to eat a quick supper and then take off to go see FNAF. As my daughter and her boyfriend call it, FNAF.
Are they like hardcore fans of the games? Or...
Oh yeah, they're definitely into gaming, so they're very interested to watch this. I don't know if they've ever played it before, but they're very familiar with it.
Right. I get you. Yeah, it'll be interesting to hear like your opinion because like myself, like I
Yeah.
don't know anything about it. You know.
I only know the basics, and it's horror, so I'm there. But hopefully it'll be good. I don't know. I've been trying to avoid seeing anyone's thoughts, on Twitter. When you scroll down, you can see I just like, don't look, don't look, don't look. I don't want to know nothing. So
Right.
we'll see.
Yeah, don't blame. Well, it sounds like you've done a good job so far avoiding spoilers at least. So
Hopefully.
that's awesome. And I'm saying nothing. I've seen it yesterday, so I'm keeping quiet.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you for joining us in, and of course we've got Kieran once again. So how you doing, Kieran?
I'm good, mate. Thank you for having me. Really, really exciting. So thank you for having me back for Thursday night Z Talks. It's going to be good.
Yeah, thanks, man, for joining. And of course, for anyone who's watching live or after the fact, you can find the links to all my guest channels down below in the description box. So absolutely, please go subscribe to them as well. If you guys are watching live, please feel free to leave a comment down below in the live chat. Ask a question for me or my guests or for all of us, whatever you guys want to comment. Leave it down below, and I've also left the link in the chat if you wanted to come join the stream, as I've got about maybe 1 or 2 spaces available if you fancy joining us on the lineup. So yeah, first question I'm going to ask you guys. I'm going to start with Sin. Of course, you mentioned it before. The last movie you watched, and I believe it was The Killer, right?
Yes, it was The Killer. It was my very first press screening. So that was exciting. It was just a bunch of reviewers actually in the room, and it was for The Killer coming out. I was mistaken. I thought it was going to be released on Netflix on October 27th, but that's inaccurate. It's a limited theatrical release starting tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I think the official release date on Netflix is November 10th. And it's a David Fincher movie. And I had to remind myself of what he's done, which he did the American version of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which I really, really liked. And I also really liked this film, with the exception of one little tiny thing about the end that just felt a little off or a bit anticlimactic. But I'll save the details on that for. Well, I don't go into details in my review. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but I'll save further discussion about that until my review.
Nice. Well, I look forward to the review, and I'm not sure if in the UK, Kieran, do you know if near you, where you live, you're getting The Killer in cinema?
Yeah, tomorrow, but it's just in one cinema. We've got 2 cinemas. So yeah, I'm going to check out tomorrow and then go and watch Five Nights at Freddy's on Saturday. So, yeah, so very, very packed weekend of cinema. But what could be better?
Right? Sounds exciting.
Nice.
Hope you have a good time.
Thank you very much.
Awesome, man. Well, I hope you enjoy both showings. And yeah, the cinemas next to where I live, they're not showing The Killer whatsoever. So I'm a little bit gutted.
Oh, that stinks. Yeah, it's limited, so it's that's unfortunate. It's not going to reach everybody.
Right. I'm quite curious. I don't know if you guys know this. Of course, when you get like a movie and put it in the cinema, even for it's like a week or 2, I wonder if it gets a limited release. It's cheaper to do it that way than have, say, a 3-4 week run at least. I don't know.
I am not sure. I don't know what the reasoning is behind doing a limited. So like maybe for some movies they have a very limited release because they want it to go into contention for the awards.
Right.
But sometimes that never happens. So I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you.
I read that it might be. I read that it might be going on Netflix on like November the 10th.
Yes,
so the fact that
is.
it's might
Yeah.
like so that might play into it. The fact that you have a limited screening and then being available to a wider range of audiences on Netflix, but you just sort of miss out on that chance to have that cinema experience with the film because everyone's just going to wait a couple of weeks for Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, you would think there are so many films that have just gone straight to Netflix or very limited and then to Netflix because like they're a Netflix film or whatever. But it seems like maybe it'd just be better for them to go longer span of time on the big screen so people can appreciate that experience, you know. But
yeah,
I don't know. Not that this one necessarily is such that you must see it on the big screen because it's not like, you know, the types that it's like you must watch it. It's not like a Top Gun Maverick. But the big screen experience for me is always the most exciting. Yeah, I don't know. I question sometimes the things they do, but who can tell?
True. Not very true. And when you went to the cinema last night, Sin, did you sneak in any hot snacks at all?
I snuck in some coffee, and I had some protein bars with me. But you know what's funny is I went in there. I had looked up the runtime, and it had said the runtime was 158 or 56 minutes. So I was like, wow, okay, it's like 2.5 hours, and so I was like, I need to time my coffee consumption because I might have to go to the bathroom. So I was like waiting until 8. So it started at 7 on the dot. No trailers, obviously, because it's a press screener. And I was like, okay, I'll wait till 8:45. I'll drink my coffee, and then I should be good until 9:30. But no, I started my coffee and it was done at 9. It was not more than 2 hours. I was like, wow, let me finish my coffee real quick before I have to walk. So yes, it's not a 2-hour plus movie. I don't know what in the world. That information was definitely wrong, what I looked up.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine it being a 2.5-hour movie, being honest, but I'm glad it wasn't anyway. That's good.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not.
That's good. Well, I look forward to your review, Sin, and of course you guys can check that out on Sin's Corner's channel as well, so definitely go subscribe to Sin. Patrick, what have you last watched?
I watched Murder, She Said. This is a Miss Marple. This is Miss Marple from 1961. So I found this. I found a 4-film set at my library for $1. So I watched the first one today, and I must say it was absolutely charming.
Was it black and white or color?
Black and white. Black and white.
Okay.
With Margaret Rutherford, Arthur Kennedy. Yeah, it was fun.
That's awesome, and I know you always get some bargains in your library hauls that you usually do weekly as well.
Yeah. My library is my bloodline. You know, that's the last place I have to really film hunt at for good prices. Otherwise, there's not very much left around us. Our local Best Buy is no longer going to be selling physical media going into next year. Target has pretty much already wiped it all out. That's another store here. So there's just not very many places left to shop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. And of course, you've got to try and get it, the physical media where you can. And I mean, how much did you get Guardians of the Galaxy 3 for the other day?
25 cents.
At the library?
Yeah. I got 25 cents for Guardians of the Library, Guardians of the Galaxy, and also the Flash.
Dang!
Wow. So our library is I get a lot of good deals there. A lot of good deals.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that movie hasn't been out that long as well. You know, I would have thought at least maybe was it DVD, right?
It was DVD, but if it comes out as Blu-ray, I'll get a copy of that for a $0.25 a piece.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Comes with the case and everything, or just the disc?
Oh yeah, I'll show you.
Wow, that's an excellent deal.
Yeah, no, right?
I might start going to the library. Like,
I know.
Yeah, the only thing they have on it is they have the stickers and they have their little the alphabetical or they filed it. But otherwise, yeah, it's the movie.
Dang.
That's crazy.
So yeah, well last week, not this week, but last week, I found a brand new Criterion factory sealed for a quarter.
Oh wow.
That was really surprising to me.
Wow. That's a great pick, especially as Criterions are really expensive as well. So
when they released Game of Thrones season 8, they released that, and I mean it must have been out just a couple of weeks, and I went to the library and someone had donated factory sealed season 8 on Blu-ray, and I got that for $3. And I went to Target. I went to Target, and they're still selling for like $50.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does. Just before we go to Kieran, and of course you can check out Patrick's library hauls he does every week on his channel. So definitely go subscribe to Patrick. And we also do have another guest joining us tonight, and that is Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Hey.
Doing all right?
Good. Yeah. Hey, Jason, thank you so much for joining, man. Really do appreciate it.
I couldn't help it. I had to join.
Well, I always love having you on, and after the stream, the link to Jason's channel will be in the description box. But for now, of course, you can just type in Jason the Old Millennial on YouTube, and he will pop up. So yeah, Jason, while we're here, we're talking about just the last movie we checked out. So what was the last movie you watched?
Yeah, I checked out this movie on Netflix called Old Dads. It stars and Bill Burr directs, and he wrote the movie. I don't know if you ever heard that one.
I've seen the poster for it. Yeah.
I've heard
it. Yeah.
I've seen some of the reviews for it.
Yeah.
I just came across it, and I was like, I'm a big fan of Bill Burr, so I was like, oh, I'll check this out. It should be funny. And it really wasn't that funny.
Yeah.
And I was kind of disappointed with it. I was like, man, and maybe because it was his first, writing and directing a movie, it's just hard to do. I mean, and Bill Burr is a great writer as far as stand-up, and the movie kind of resembles his stand-up in a way, but for some reason it didn't work for me as a movie. I don't know. Maybe he needs more work at it,
I didn't realize he directed that.
Yeah, it's debut direction. Yeah,
I think he had an agenda too, and I think that's what really hurt the movie too. He was trying to make a statement of some sort, and I think it just fell flat.
Yeah, I mean it's a whole thing of like, because he's it's about the older generation. I mean he's like in his early 50s, so it's like, oh, the millennials, they don't understand. They're a bunch of wusses, and then all the millennials are like, old people, they don't get it, and it's like, that was a whole joke the whole time. It's like, I don't know, I'm not that, I respect older people. Like, I don't know why all the millennials were jerks or like, old people are stupid. I'm like, what? No, we don't think that.
Yeah, I've not heard great things, Jason. You've kind of solidified that as well. I say I like the poster, I like the concept, and I thought if it was going to go the direction of these old guys being a bit like Johnny Lawrence and Cobra Kai, I was like, that could work, because that works really well.
Yeah.
But sounds like it doesn't at all. Nah, I heard Elliot didn't like it either, and I thought, yeah, he doesn't like a lot of stuff. So
yeah, he is hard to please, that man.
He is.
He is. He's got a personality. I'll give him that. Well, cool hearing your thoughts there, Jason. Thank you for giving me a movie to not check out. Thank you very much, my friend. I won't be.
Yeah, I want to hear your cocaine. What was it? Cougar?
Cocaine Cougar, yeah.
Wait, for real?
Cocaine Cougar. There is a real movie named Cocaine Cougar. I watched it.
You watched it?
Patrick's watched it.
I watched it, and I'm really shocked to say that I've actually seen worse this year than Cocaine Cougar.
Probably Cocaine Shark is worse, right?
Probably about the same level. Saw that one too.
Oh my goodness!
I would say Cocaine Shark's better than Cocaine Cougar, personally.
Yeah, I would do.
Yeah.
That's
Cocaine Cougar is really bad, but it's not as bad as the Wendigo. The Wendigo takes the cake for the worst thing I've seen this year.
Oh,
The Wendigo.
I
Yeah,
think
I've
I
never heard
heard
of that.
someone mentioning that, but I haven't even seen the
Painful.
poster or anything.
Painful.
Okay.
Well, Sin just did a review on It's a Wonderful Knife, which sounded pretty bad.
It had things to appreciate about it, but just as a whole, it was so annoying by the time it was done. I was just like, so I don't know. Maybe if I rewatched it, I'd be less harsh, but that was just really aggravated at it. And if you couldn't tell in my little ranty audio video that I did. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'd never seen that before. I've never even heard of It's a Wonderful Knife.
No.
I hadn't either, but I saw, so later I went on Regal's page, like maybe their Twitter or their Facebook, and some people had accurately guessed. So some people did know of this movie, and if I knew of it, it just floated right out of my brain because I forgot, all about it. And then when it came up, and I was like, I knew it was going to be horror related. I was kind of hoping it was going to be Thanksgiving, the movie Thanksgiving with Eli Roth.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it was this one. So I was thinking, okay, so the first 15-20 minutes are like, wow, this is not very, and people started leaving early on. And then after 20 minutes and the little, it's like a take on It's a Wonderful Life. So when that happens and everything switches and the next day she doesn't exist anymore, like she's never existed, and she's trying to figure things out. And I was thinking, okay, this is interesting. This has some promise, and there were some bright spots in it. Then more and more people started leaving. I mean, okay, I guess they didn't think it was going to be good. I'm going to stick around though. So I stuck around, and I was almost aggravated I didn't just leave with the others. Oh well.
I was going to say if I regretted your decision there, Sin, I think to stick around.
Yeah, and it's not like I had a lot of money in the game. I have Regal Unlimited, so I paid like 50-some cents, to use the app to get the ticket. So I was only out 50-some cents if I left. No big deal. But for whatever reason, I stuck it through. Oh well.
Oh man. Well, it can go on the worst of the year list, Sins. At least it's sort of
maybe.
Yeah.
It definitely will probably end up in my worst of 2023.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. We've got Jay Hope on here saying, wait, Cocaine Bear? It's better than a movie called Crackoon.
Oh my.
That'd be great.
That is a real movie.
That is?
Wow.
Yeah, Crackoon is a real movie.
Oh my gosh.
Have
When
you
did
seen
that
it,
come
Patrick?
out?
I know a couple of the actresses that are working on it.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow, okay. Oh, man. Well, I've seen Cocaine Bear, Shark, and Cougar. I'm waiting for the next one now.
I think you're just a glutton.
Finish the set.
Yeah.
Right.
I think there's an Asylum one coming out about an alligator, I think. I might be
Oh
wrong.
God.
Mm.
I know Wild Eye released one called Replicator. I think that one came out in the 80s. That just got a re-release.
And is it high on cocaine?
No, I don't know any other cocaine. I don't know any other cocaine coming out. I just the last I heard was Crackoon. Yeah, I know that was. I don't think it's out yet, but I know it is coming.
Yeah, okay. I'll be on the lookout for it. Don't worry.
If we see it, we'll warn you.
Thank you. Please do. And Kieran, how about yourself, man? What did you last check out?
So I was really late to check this one out, but I heard some really, really great stuff. But Totally Killer on Amazon Prime. I just thought the concept was really, really cool. Sort of a Terminator meet sort of Back to the Future type sort of idea, and then Halloween and Scream as well for like the holiday horror elements. So I actually thought it was a pretty decent film. I felt like the execution, whilst it felt quite stereotypical with the films I've mentioned, it just sort of felt like they never really used that chance to its potential and do something different. But I thought it was fine. A nice movie. I'm trying to watch a lot more horror movies, so that was a nice little horror sci-fi to come out for this year. So didn't mind it, but it didn't really blow me away.
Yeah, well, cool hearing your thoughts, man. Glad to hear that you got to check it out. Because I know I've seen it. I know Sin's seen it as well.
Yeah.
Jason, did you check it out? Because it is horror, but I'd say it's very light horror.
No, I haven't checked that one out. I've heard about it.
There are some pretty gnarly kills. I mean, the kills were pretty R-rated. It felt like, which I was like, okay, wow, they're going hardcore with this. But I enjoyed it ish, but there was too much about it that annoyed me for me to be able to fully enjoy it. I really did like the concept of it, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I like the concept of it about the time travel. A little bit like Happy Death Day, but with time travel.
Yeah.
Really. Patrick, did you get to check out Totally Killer?
Not yet. Now I heard of it too. I'm not sure if it's going to get a physical release or not. So I watch some streaming like on Tubi, but I don't have access to the Prime one, so I have to wait and hope that it gets a physical release.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if it will with it being Amazon. I mean, I think it's done well on the streaming service, but physical, I don't know how well it would do. I'll be honest.
I don't know I don't know what they're going to do. I think what we're going to do is we're going to see more and more companies. They're going to probably withdraw from the stores, or what they'll do is they'll do what Warner Brothers Archives has done, and that is they'll set up storefronts on Amazon, and you can go and get it made on demand, MOD. And so if you want to watch that movie from Amazon, you can go there and order it, and they'll make you up one.
It would make sense, and I think that would be quite a cool service to have. I'll be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. It actually is a good business model if you really think about it. I mean, you don't have to worry about inventory. You don't have to worry about shipping costs. Basically, they come to you, and you can just go ahead and you don't have to. Let 20 orders come in that day. You just print out 20 discs and send them out. I mean, it does make sense.
It does. Yeah, I like the idea. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they adapt that in the future. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, cool to hear your guys' highlights of like what you've been watching recently. I'll be honest, Kieran, I wasn't huge on Totally Killer. It was a lot of it. I felt like the reference Back to the Future a lot, and I was like, they relied on that too much, and I was like, nah.
Speaking of Back to the Future, Mike, when I went to go to the press screening yesterday, my son went to the theater with me as well because Back to the Future was playing on the big screen, and this was maybe the second time he'd seen it. And he was saying how, and I was going to go see, I would have gone to see it, but then I realized there was a conflict with the press screening, so I was like, no, the press screening is going to take precedence. But yeah, he said rewatching it, especially on the big screen, helped him to appreciate it more and notice more things about it that were really cool. So as I mentioned how much you love that movie. So,
just a little bit,
just a little teeny tiny bit.
Just on your arm. Yeah.
I saw it. I can't remember if I told you last year when I went to Dragon Con, I saw. I don't remember if I sent you a picture of this. I saw someone was driving by in a DeLorean. It was really cool. I got a picture of it. I put it on my vlog, my video, like my little video series that I did. If I can find the timestamp of it, I'll show you. It was just a picture I took of it. It was really cool.
Yeah, please do. No, he didn't show me. So yeah, if you get a moment, yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. No, that's awesome. But cool to hear that you got to check it out on the big screen as well.
Yeah, I would have liked to have. I've never seen it on the big screen myself.
Oh, wow.
Maybe one day it'll come back.
I mean, the thing is, when you get a chance at a press screening, you're going to go to a press screening.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was like, oh, I hate it. Choices. But
right. And are they going to show parts 2 and 3 at your cinema?
I honestly don't know. It wouldn't surprise me because they have been bringing back a lot of the older movies. They've been having, anniversary stuff. They had The Birds. They brought that back. The first Exorcist, and pretty much every year they bring Halloween back at some point in October. So, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. That would be interesting. Jason, did they show many old movies at your cinema?
Not that I'm aware of. That'd be cool.
That stinks.
They released A Nightmare Before Christmas, and it actually did better than Saw X and another horror movie. I think it outdid both of them.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Made $6 million last weekend.
Oh, dang.
Oh. That's crazy. I mean, but if you put an older movie on and cheaper tickets, people's gonna go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I saw Nightmare Before Christmas on the big screen for the first time ever some years back as well. And that was a cool experience. So it is cool having that older movies you get checked out on the big screen if you can anyway.
Yeah, I wish they would do more and more of that. Every year do some, because there have been so many classic movies from the 80s that I've never seen on the big screen. I would love to watch the first Terminator on the big screen. I never have seen it. Stuff like that.
Wow.
They brought Lost Boys back, I think, last year. That was really exciting. I'd never seen that on the big screen.
There's a company called Fathom, and Fathom goes around, and that's what they do. That's what the company does. They go around and show old films for a weekend. It's just a special, and it's not, it's like one weekend in one city, another one and another one. And so people can catch up with a lot of classic films they may have missed on. They do pretty well.
Yeah.
They do. They always attract audiences. So I don't know why they don't do it more often.
Every year they do Studio Ghibli movies. Sometimes twice a year they do those.
Yeah, you guys in America get that. We don't get that over here in the UK.
Sorry. Goodness, Mike, you need to move.
I know. I wish. But what were you going to say, Jason?
Back where I used to live close to Wichita, Kansas, and there's a theater called the Orpheum Theater. It's an old theater, like where you have concerts and stuff, and very old seatings and everything. And they would show old movies. They would have like a big screen. They'd show old movies, and I watched like It's a Wonderful Life, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and Help from the Beatles movie Help. Anyways, and those are so fun, to watch in the old theater, looking buildings and with a really cool crowd, and
yeah, and especially like the people who go see that will be appreciating that movie and going to see it because they're a fan of it or first time.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely agree. Remind me after this stream, I'll check through my box of tickets I've got that I collect because I got to see the first Terminator on the big screen. It was the first ever time I saw the movie as well.
Oh, are you serious? You lucky thing!
I think it was a good few years ago now. I'd like to say maybe 2017, 2018, maybe.
Okay, so I remember in 2017 they brought back T2 and they had done digital restoration. So that was really cool. But in my area they didn't bring back the Terminator. I've never seen it come to my area. Wow. I would be so on that, like you have no idea how quick.
Oh yeah, you
probably do have an idea how quick.
Oh yeah, like every show in available, it's gonna be like, right, book that. Call in work. I've got to take some vacation time. Bye, guys.
Well, fortunately, I have a very flexible work schedule, so.
I was gonna say you'd be at every show in Sydney.
I probably would.
Yeah, and well, hopefully one day, Sid. We've got a couple of comments in here as well. We've got Cy Robson. Hey gang, hey Cy. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. I've got the viewer Drew. Hey Drew. He says, Halloween question. If you were living the life of a monster, what life would be worse? Being a vampire or a werewolf? He thinks being a werewolf is worse.
Yeah, I think we've had that question before.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now, is the werewolf situation as frequent as it is in Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox, where it's kind of on command, or is it just
it's a full moon? Or...
Depends what lore you're talking about.
Right.
I think Teen Wolf didn't have a hard time being a werewolf. Not really.
No, it did not until the end when people didn't want to know him for him. Like for him, they wanted just the wolf, didn't they?
Yeah, that's true.
So,
but at least they wanted the wolf. Most werewolf movies they don't want you; they just want you dead.
Yeah,
right. That's a good point. Well, I'll tell you what, Kieran, do you want to go first?
Yeah. Well, Rebus Lupin in Prisoner of Azkaban doesn't make being a werewolf sound good, so I'm going to stick with a vampire. I'm going to chill out with Drac in Hotel Transylvania and be a vampire. I think Drew's spot on with that.
So you think it would be worse being a vampire than a werewolf?
No, I think a werewolf would be worse. Like I said, I don't think Lupin makes that be great at all. So no, I'm going to be a vampire. I'm going to stick on that side.
Fair. Jason?
Yeah, last time I said vampire, and I'll stick with the vampire thing. Is better, I guess. Yeah, werewolf would be worse. I work the night shift, so I work at night and sleep during the day. So I live the life of a vampire already. So I think it would be pretty easy transition for me.
It would, yeah, and you'd probably be able to fly as well, possibly. So there's that. Sin, how about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, there are pros and cons to each, right? So, like with a werewolf, it's only maybe one day out of the month. But it does look like an extremely painful transformation. So, and vampires are kind of cooler anyway. So, I think maybe werewolf would probably be worse.
Yeah, I can get that. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go vampire as well. So that's 4 of us. And Patrick, how about yourself?
I mean, if I had to go one of the two, I would probably have to go with vampire as well. I mean, it's you fly. You have the power of flight. You can get a lot of babes. You don't have to worry about. You don't have to wear a flea collar on your first date.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Did you guys ever see that show Being Human? This talk reminds me of that. Started in the UK. Have you guys ever seen it?
No,
I saw a couple of stuff on Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, they did a version for the States, but the original version, especially the first 3 seasons or so before the vampire guy left, were really solid. And there's like a werewolf, a vampire, and a ghost, and they all live together. Okay. And there's some moments of comedy, but it's mostly a dramatic type of telling of their stories. And the vampire, he kind of demonstrates that it's not so great, the life that he has, because he can't necessarily control what he is, and it torments him. It's like when he gives in to his nature. And it's just really, really well done. I loved it so much. And then, like I said, it came here, and it's, to me, the one here's not as good.
Yeah.
This discussion just reminded me of that.
I didn't realize they made an American version. I'll be honest.
Yeah, they did.
Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So some versions from like English to American or American to English transition well, but a lot of them tend not to.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
This is true. Yeah.
But no, I haven't seen Being Human, but I've heard a lot about it though. I think it's got 5 seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that. And I stopped a little bit after the vampire love. I never finished it, because to me the 3 main people, they were the heart and soul of it. And then when his character left, it didn't feel the same. They tried to fill him with somebody else, but it just wasn't. It didn't work.
Yeah, and that's a big issue they have in movies and TVs when they replace someone with someone else. Yeah, I can get that.
Yeah, recasting's a bitch. I mean, it's that you watch a show for its chemistry, and you watch that and you really like it, and it takes a really good casting director to come in and rescue a show with a winning actor once a more popular one leaves. That's a hard job to do.
Yeah, it feels like it's almost impossible. Most of the time, it doesn't seem like it works very well.
No, I mean, I've never seen the show, but I've heard about yourself and at least Sin and Anthony Perez, who's watched it. But I wonder what they're going to do with The Witcher when Henry Cavill and then Liam Hemsworth's going to take over.
They should just scrap that. No, that is such a terrible decision they're making. If they would just straighten themselves up and fix the writing, because the whole reason I think that Cavill is leaving is because they just tore the writing all to pieces. And and the fact that they're casting Hemsworth as Geralt, it's not going to be a story of another Witcher. What the heck? What? maybe people would stick around to watch it if it was going to be someone else's story. But to cast him, are you? You cannot convince us that the replacement you have is going to come anywhere close to being as suitable as Cavill was for that role. So I have zero interest in watching it when it picks back up with him.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I think a lot of people like yourself, Sin, will be the same, and they'll probably get cancelled after that season anyway.
Yeah,
he's had some bad luck.
He's had
some bad career luck. I mean,
Yep.
he had and even before the Superman thing happened to him, he had another movie that should have, and in another world, would have blown up and done really well and launched the franchise because he was really good in it, and that was The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I saw that, I saw the movie, I thought, man, this is the winner. I come back and watch these guys anytime, anywhere.
Mm.
But he just got blown up.
Yeah.
And it didn't do that well. And then and any slim hope at all about bringing it back at all was destroyed when Armie Hammer went down in flames.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then of course the Superman fiasco, and and now The Witcher. It's just like, wow, what's the problem? What's the disconnect between Henry Cavill and studios? The public loves him.
Yeah.
The public loves him, but studios, they just love to screw with him.
Yeah, he was going to be Bond as well. He was going to be Bond before Daniel Craig, and it was between them two.
Really?
So even
Yeah,
that,
I heard that's how close it came.
Yeah, I don't think that's too bad because Daniel Craig is, a fantastic Bond, so I don't think he gets highlighted that much. But just to say on The Witcher, I've just started watching it because everyone's been banging on about how great that show is, and I actually didn't know just how good he is in that role until I watched it, and he's fantastic. So yeah, I'm with Sin on this one. I'm getting really, really worried that Liam Hemsworth is just going to completely destroy what's been built up with Henry Cavill.
How far into this? Because I haven't finished season 3 yet. I was confused. I didn't realize they had split that one up into 2 parts. So I haven't finished the last batch of episodes. But honestly, after the first season, it wasn't. Seasons 2 and 3 definitely feel like a downturn in quality.
Yeah.
From season
I'm sort of halfway through. I'm halfway through season 1, but I'm really, really enjoying it. So fingers crossed that there's not that big of a.
You'll tell.
Yeah.
You'll be able to tell when season 2
Yeah,
comes around.
yeah,
You're
I'll say,
this doesn't really quite feel as good as.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts, Kieran, when you get finished the first season of The Witcher and you get on to the other 2 seasons as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'll let you know.
Yeah, but definitely agree with you guys. Yeah, Henry. We've spoke about this before as well. Yeah, Henry Cavill's had a bad run, and I hope it ends soon. I really do, because he seems like a really cool guy as well.
Oh yeah.
And he's a Chiefs fan.
And he's a Chiefs fan, so he's got Jason's backing.
Oh yeah.
He's a computer nerd, which is cool.
Right. Well, I mean, he's just PC gaming.
He's a gamer, yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, he seems like a really cool guy. Aside for the question saying vampire, I don't know if he means being vampires are worse or he would want to be a vampire.
He would prefer to be a vampire.
I'm guessing. We've got Anthony Perez in the house. So, hey, Anthony. He says, what is the oldest horror film you've all seen? Mine is Nosferatu, the OG. Wow, okay. I'll tell you what, go Jason first.
Yeah, I saw that question earlier on the chat, and that's a good question because I haven't seen any of the monster movies of the 30s, so I can't go back that far. Maybe in the 50s, with there was this movie when I was a kid. I used to kind of enjoy it. It was called Them, and it was giant ants.
Yeah.
And you're thinking giant ants, how is that scary? But it was kind of scary as a kid because, and it's 50s technology. I think it was 1950s that came out, but it was, I don't know, it's kind of fun. These giant ants would, I guess they just crush you to death because they're just giant. And yeah, it was a fun movie.
That was a fun, yeah, that's a classic right there. That's a classic. And actually, here's a little trivia too. James Arnett starred in that movie, and he also ended up doing the Thing from Outer Space,
Yep.
Oh,
The Thing
okay.
from Another World.
or
Or
Thing
something. Yeah.
Thing from Another World. Yeah, he did
Yeah.
doing
Uh-huh.
the thing.
Okay, I've never heard of this movie. Did you say it's called Them?
Them, yeah, them.
1954.
1954.
I've been looking up dates because I was trying to refresh my memory as well on different things.
I'd be interested to see the technology for that movie
Right,
at that point in
yeah.
time.
Yeah, it was pretty advanced. I mean, the ants that they actually look like ants. I mean, it's they're obviously not all but they're practical, and they did they did a good job with it.
Yeah, it's. Oh, okay. J-Hope says, "Hey, Leonard Nimoy was in
Was
there."
he?
All right.
Okay,
Oh.
that's some cool trivia. Okay.
Yeah, they used to love making movies where it was usually, I think, dealing with nuclear war or something, where there'd be a giant spider, giant ant, or giant lizard. I think that was like very popular in the 50s. Like some kind of animal would get, some kind of radiation, and then all of a sudden they're terrorizing the place. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes through like waves really with horror and decades and eras and stuff. So yeah, I can get that. But I'm gonna have to search that out though, Jason. Them, I'm kind of intrigued actually. Yeah.
That's
So, hey,
a fun movie.
hey, good pick. Patrick, how about yourself?
Mine would actually probably be King Kong 33.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It would be my oldest movie I've seen as far as horror goes. The oldest movie I've ever seen has probably been 1927. That would be Wings, and then 1929 would be Bulldog Drummond with Ronald Colman.
Okay, wow, some good choices there, Patrick. Yeah, definitely diverse range. I've heard great things about the original King Kong as well. I think it's the only one I've not seen. I'll be honest, but I've seen the other ones though. Kieran, sorry, Patrick.
King Kong was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've heard great things about the original one. Yeah, definitely want to check it out because I love King Kong in general, so I definitely want to check it out. Kieran, how about yourself?
I'm just going to go quite generic, so I do apologise. But Jaws, obviously 1975, just a classic for so many reasons. I don't think I need to go into too much detail, but yeah, that scared me to go into the sea for sure. But I managed to watch it as well at the cinema. We're talking about older movies that went to the cinema. That the first time I watched it was an old style cinema as well, and it had an interval as well, and then the piano playing. So yeah, proper felt like I was back in the 1970s. So that was an awesome experience. So yeah, that'll be mine.
Wow, that's awesome, man. It's cool that it had like an interval as well when you got to check it out as well. That's unique.
Yeah, I was really surprised when the interval popped up. I was like, wait, what's going on? And then they go, oh, the movie will be back. I was like, okay, all right, it's not just finished there. So no, it was a really cool experience. So, but no, I was getting slightly worried that the shark had just finished his killing spree within 2 people. But no, it was really fun.
Awesome, man. Great choice as well. Sin, how about yourself?
I had to refresh my memory because I couldn't remember how old is Psycho. So first I was going to say Psycho, but then I looked The Thing from Another World, probably. But then King Kong was mentioned. I personally don't really consider that a horror, so I guess I won't classify that as the oldest horror I've seen. But I have seen the original King Kong, and a lot of people love it. I'm not a fan. I guess it was groundbreaking for its time, but oh my gosh, Faye Ray got on my last nerve. She would not shut up with the screaming. Oh my gosh, I was like, oh, please kill this woman. So I don't have to hear her anymore. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that one, but I guess maybe if my memories are fresh of other things I've seen and I've just forgotten about. At first I was like Night of the Living Dead, but no, that was I think 1968. And I was like Psycho. No, that was earlier. No, then 51 I think was The Thing from Another World. Maybe the oldest one I've seen.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's a great choice as well. I've heard a lot about that one as well, since I've just not seen it.
It was decent, but I think John Carpenter's remake is better.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, well, John Carpenter's great, so I'm not surprised.
Right.
A couple of comments we've got, like, kind of in this discussion, Si saying King Kong 1933 was the first movie I ever watched. Back in '76, it was on BBC Two, and I was 2 years old. Wow. Okay, man, that's pretty awesome.
So 76 wasn't 76 when the Jessica Lange one came out. That
Yeah,
might have
that
been
was
why
the-
they were
that was
playing it on
Yeah.
BBC Two.
Yeah.
That was her film debut.
That's
Oh,
right.
really?
Yeah, that version of King Kong is actually my personal favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I like Peter Jackson.
Yeah, and then Peter
Wow.
Jackson definitely with the visual, the CGI,
Mhm.
certainly. But there's just something very nostalgic about the one from the '70s. I love the soundtrack, the score. It was just so epic, it seemed, and
Well-
just sweeping, and just I really enjoyed it.
You know what I really liked about that was in the '76 version they had a Charles Grodin play the the guy that financed it,
Yeah.
and at the time he was a very well known comedian. He done comedic, he stand up and he did comedic roles,
Hmm.
and he played the serious role in that. And I thought it was interesting that Jackson did the same thing with Jack Black. He made Jack Black.
Yeah.
I thought that was really a smart play because Jack Black was really good in that movie.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think my introduction to Charles Grodin was the King Kong from the '70s, so I had no idea like what his, and I was just a young kid when I saw it too. So, but that's an interesting comparison you made.
Yeah, I like Jackson's version. I thought it was just so well done. Yeah, I mean, I like '76 too, and they had some good scenes. The scenes where they were trying to cross the log and
Oh
it
yeah,
broke
just
in
that
half.
one just popped in
Oh,
my brain when you said
Man, that had me. I had nightmares on that one for a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson.
It's okay.
I'm like,
No. In the first movie was the first one they were crossing the log and then it broke in half, and all the people they're falling into the ravine, but they're falling slowly, and it was like, wow, you knew there was just going to be a bad end for those guys.
Yeah.
Mhm. What were you going to say, Kieran?
I was just going to say about the Peter Jackson one. Like, he was on fire with like them sort of like fantasy films in the 2000s, because obviously he did the Lord of the Rings, and then he did that, and then obviously coming into the 2010s he did The Hobbit. So yeah, Peter Jackson was absolutely brilliant, and that is my favorite King Kong as well.
I like Kong Skull Island personally.
That was awesome.
Fun movie.
Yeah, that was good.
That was awesome. Yeah, I like that one as well, Jason. Yeah, definitely. I thought was quite a cool story they told, and Tom Hiddleston was good as well. I liked him in it.
Yeah, John C.
What a
Reilly's
cast.
great. Yeah.
The only thing that killed me about Kong Skull Island, it's like I don't mind movies where they have some goofiness in it or some disbelief.
Yeah.
But Kong Skull Island it's just watching their behavior in the movie, like things that you would never do, like fly your helicopter within arm's range of this thing, and yet that's what they did over and over and over. It was just like it took me out of the movie. It was just like, come on, really? You're gonna really do that? And it's just over and over and over, and it was just like it's just like, no, nobody's gonna get close enough to, once you see your machine gun bullets aren't doing anything, you're not gonna keep going up there attempting fate.
Right.
So I don't know. It just little things like that just annoy me.
Yeah, but if they were smart, Patrick, you wouldn't have a long movie. My
You wouldn't have a movie, yeah.
You've done
Right,
5
like
minutes.
yeah.
But see, even the Japanese though, they could have took a page from the Japanese. It's like you don't see the Japanese rushing in there. They bring in the masers first, then they bring in the long range artillery, and then they bring in jets, and then
Mm-hmm. But nah, they don't learn, Patrick. That's the problem. And they're like, yeah, we'll go and write close about machine guns. That will work. But no, that's very cool hearing your experience, though, Si. We've got Ryan adding in here who says, I watched Dracula, but couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
I get how far we've come, and we needed that to get to where we are now. But it's not my thing. No score, and the crackling hard to keep my interest.
That's
Yeah.
That's like the original monster movie, I think. If he's talking about the 1930 version, or
I assume that's what he's
Is it
referring to.
the Bela Lugosi?
Bela
one?
Lugosi,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
because that came first, and then Frankenstein right after that. So those are like the original monster movies.
Yeah, that's the original like universe.
Did the Mummy come out in 31 or 32? Maybe it was after King Kong.
Can't remember the year, but I think it wasn't too long after those.
Yeah, it was in that era.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, again, it's one of those timepieces. You know, it depends what kind of when you grew up and what you were introduced to, or maybe have like nostalgia for example. And the same with Kong as well. You know, same with what I was saying before about Kong. Same kind of principle as well. J Hawthorne saying, "Hey, yeah, Dracula is crazy slow." So got a couple of people definitely agreeing. But yeah, great question by Anthony. I would say for myself, the probably oldest one I've seen is only recently Rosemary's Baby.
From 60.
68.
Yeah.
68. Yeah. That was interesting. It wasn't huge in the movie, but I wasn't huge on it. But I can appreciate for what it was, though. Definitely want to check out a lot more older horror ones, though. But yeah, great question from Anthony. And we've got Sai saying, I watched The Exorcist Believer today. It had such bad dialogue with poor storytelling. Bad, very, very bad movie. 3 out of 10
I think he didn't
from
like
me.
it.
Yeah, I don't think so, Sin. I'll be honest. Doesn't sound like it. Well, I've seen it. I know, Sin, you've seen it.
Yes.
Kieran, have you seen it?
No, not yet, and that's not making me want to head to the cinema anytime soon, judging by that review.
Okay, yeah, fair enough, man. Jason?
Yeah, I don't like those style of movies. It's not for me.
Fair enough, man. And Patrick?
No, I'll wait for the quarter.
You sure you even want to spend a quarter on it?
I'm curious to see how Jennifer Nettles did. That's the only thing I'm interested in. I want to see how she did, because I didn't know she went over from singing to acting. So
who was she?
I guess she's probably the mom of the other girl. I think isn't there like
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
She is, and yeah, she's the mom of Catherine, I believe.
Okay.
So I just want to see how she does in her role.
If it is that same woman, which I believe it is, yeah, I thought she did pretty well, Patrick, I'll be honest.
She did pretty well. Yeah, I'm not really surprised. She's very talented.
She doesn't stand out as an issue for me.
I it's funny. I'll tell a story real fast. But a few years ago, I used to read a book called New Music. It was college music, and I used to go and get a magazine out of it, and then or get a magazine, and on it they would have a disc, and on the disc they would have like singles from like unknown people, unknown bands. Well, I bought a copy and I listened to her band, the Jennifer Nettles band, and I thought it was really good. So I emailed her, and we stayed in touch for like a few months, like maybe 5 or 6 months, and then she disappeared. It's just like, okay, that happens, fade away. And then one day, seriously, I turned on TV and I heard this band called Sugarland, and I'm like, and I could hear the singer, and I'm like, I know that voice. And I went over there. It was Jennifer Nettles. She was a rocker, but she went country so she could get a deal. Yeah.
I was just about to say, Patrick, sorry to interrupt. Sugarland. I was pretty sure to say, I'm pretty sure I've heard that song with Taylor Swift. Actually, I'm pretty sure they did a collab with Taylor Swift.
I'm sure she
back
probably
in the day.
She did a collaboration with John Bon Jovi, and all the country fans were just shocked, going like, "Wow, how good she is!" And it's like, well, that's because she originally was a rocker. So that's what she did. She went country because that was the only way she could get a deal.
Oh,
so they created a band around them, I mean, those people that played with her, they weren't. That wasn't her band. They put the band together, and then that Sugarland, and it was mostly her. And so yes, it wasn't a surprise to see her do rock. And then I didn't know she was doing acting though, so that was strange to see that.
Yeah, definitely an interesting transition. Yeah, I was saying the movie, I thought she was pretty good for what she's given. Yeah, but it's then we'll go over. But that's a cool story though, Patrick. It's cool that you got to talk to Jennifer for a couple of months as well. That's cool.
Nice lady.
Yeah, that's awesome though. And hey, you never know. One day, man, you might reply back, or you might get talking again. Who knows? That'd be cool.
Yeah, she's very well known now. That's for sure.
Right.
She's got a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she does. From the stuff I've heard, anyway. I've mainly heard Sugarland stuff. I'll be honest, but from what I've heard, I don't mind them. But Sin, would you say 3 out of 10? Would you agree with Si?
I can't remember what I rated it on Letterboxd, but I was not a fan of it, so I tend to agree with that. I'm not going to quibble over a star or a half a star. I can't remember if I rated it 2.5 stars or 2 stars, or I'd have to go look. But I was not a fan of it after Ellen's character showed up. For me, the film just went downhill from there. It had promise. But this movie taught me that you just cannot trust David Gordon Green.
No.
With horror franchises. You just cannot. And so now I'm here, and he may not come back for the sequels to direct, but he still might hang around as the writer. Well, the writing is the problem. That's the thing. Oh my gosh.
And Danny McBride is credited as being one of the writers too, and it's like, seriously?
Yeah. I think he also worked on Halloween.
He did.
Really?
I'm going to hold a grudge forever about that.
Yeah, well, it's the same writing team of Halloween. Like, there's Danny McBride, David Gordon Green, and I think there's another dude in there as well.
Should have known. Shouldn't have even given him a chance, but I did.
I agree with that, Sin. I don't understand that. I don't understand how. I mean, the signs were there for Halloween. In in the middle of Halloween movie, there were signs that. It wasn't going to be it wasn't a surprise when Halloween ended up as bad as it was. I mean, he completely dropped the ball.
Kills was the warning. Kills, I love 2018. I absolutely adored that movie, and as far as I'm concerned, that's where the story ends at this point. But yeah, Kills was definite. It was like, uh oh, and then ends was like, you blankety blank.
I don't know how you drop the ball. I cannot remember a director dropping the ball an easier handoff than that. I mean, I just can't. I can't. I mean, even more so than Nightmare on Elm Street, but Halloween. He set up a beautiful ending for a movie that could allow you to have your cake and eat it too, and you totally disregarded it for that.
Yeah, they changed. The original plan was to have the whole trilogy of movies to take place in one night. I think they should have stuck with that. But when I saw 2018, I didn't know at the time there were 2 other movies planned. I thought it was done, and I was very happy because I liked how it ended. I liked that it gave you the possibility of an open ending, but I also liked that it gave you the possibility that, oh yeah, he died in the fire. And I was fine with either way, and then I found out, there's more. Okay. All right. Well, I like 2018. Maybe Kills will be good. Nope.
I think what's frustrating for me was in Halloween Kills that he brought in all those Easter eggs from Halloween 3, setting it up so Silver Shamrock was going to be the one controlling him. And you could have had your cake and eat it too. You could have had that ending. You could have had that. Have Laurie go in there and kill him, so Laurie walks away free, but he's not dead because he's still controlled underneath the Shamrock.
Masks. Yeah. Well, I think that was just fan service for that was all that was.
Oh, I didn't think the mask had anything to do with it. I think if they would have had Laurie go in there and mess up the control of the Shamrock, it would have wiped out his memory. He still would have been alive. she could have walked away for free, and you could have kept on going. But the movie you got with Halloween Ends just.
Well, I'm glad they didn't go with the mask thing, the shamrock thing, because I didn't want them to delve into supernatural stuff. But David Gordon Green, he came on Joe Bob Briggs' show on Shudder, and he said, "Oh, Michael was human. Yeah, he's human, but you'd never know it by the way he was presented in Kills. Just the stuff." Oh, okay, don't get me started. I'm gonna stop. I could rant about this forever.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, he's not supernatural. He's not human. He's supernatural. I mean, even
I want to count him as human. I never liked the supernatural angle. I know some fans love that, but I never did. I wanted him to die, and I was glad that he died. But the way they got us there was just such a disservice to him. As
but you couldn't have him as being human. Otherwise, it'd be the same problem you had with Leatherface, and that is, no one's going to believe there's an 80-year-old man doing all that damage. I would have never believed that. I would have laughed.
He wasn't 80. He was like in his early to mid 60s, which I could believe.
Well, if you think about how old he was in 78, he was what, 21?
Yeah, he was 21. So in 2018, he was supposed to be in his early to mid 60s or so. So I could believe that. That's believable to me. But and DGG was like, yeah, he's human. Okay, well then make it seem like he's human. Don't show that he basically gets killed by the townspeople and then he hops back up again like nothing happened. That was just like so cringe. And then him killing all those people all at once. Michael never kills people all at once like that. He picks them off one. It just, sorry.
Yeah, more stalker type.
Yeah, exactly.
Since about to flip a table over there, I think, somewhere.
Oh, it still makes me mad. It still makes me mad.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't he get shot multiple times in the original? Am I crazy? Or?
He does get shot multiple times in the original, yeah.
And he just gets back up and he's gone.
He disappears. So, I could buy that. Some people have survived a lot of gunshot, and it also depends where do you get hit. So sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
he gets shot 6 times, right? He gets up and bounces away from that. But Laurie Strode pokes him in the eye with the coat hanger, and he's all like, "Oh,
yeah."
I when I rewatched that movie, I was dying laughing when I saw that. I was like,
she also stabbed him with a knife.
Fine. Gets up and walks out.
She stabbed him too, and he fell. And he did, when he got shot, he fell, and he was there for a little bit. But then by the time Loomis came, he was gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Halloween Ends, I definitely agree with you guys. Not a fan of it whatsoever. Definitely will say with Kills, I'm probably in the minority. I actually quite like that one.
A lot of people really like that one.
For the Kills part, with the townsfolk saying he will die tonight, that stuff can get lost.
Oh my gosh! But Mike, the part with the graveyard lady when he came in, and that was really stupid. Like, she's right there by the door. And instead of running, she just turns around and waits to be killed. It's like, or injured. It was just like, what the heck? Some dumb decisions with these characters.
Maybe you don't think that lady was a helicopter pilot on King Kong Skull Island, do you?
She might have been.
Could have been. But Si's adding in here, he's saying, let's just face it, Halloween 2018 is a freak of nature when it comes to David Gordon Green, because everything else is pants.
Yeah, absolutely. I was saying that after Exorcist Believer. I was saying Halloween 2018 is the anomaly. Everything else that he touches so far in the horror stuff is just crap. He has demonstrated he cannot do it.
I don't know who David Gordon Green is.
You don't want to, jeez.
He's the director of the Halloween, when Halloween came back in 2018. He was the director of that trilogy, and then Universal bought the rights to Exorcist and gave that to David Gordon Green to do when he did Exorcist.
So he likes to do horror movies?
Well, I don't know. What did he do before this, y'all? Had he done like comedy? What had he done before this? I had no idea who he was.
I don't know the name. Yeah, I was like.
He's an actor too. He's been in some movies. He was in that movie Bones and All. And then he played himself also in the Nicolas Cage movie, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. He was the director that Nicolas Cage was sucking up to at the beginning.
Okay.
If you guys ever saw that? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think he should have been put in charge of The Exorcist with Sai here. I definitely think I like The Exorcist more than a lot of other people. Again, probably in the small camp there. But I can understand from that point of view. I would definitely agree with you, Dustin, when they brought Chris McNeil back. That part shouldn't have really been in there. But that's all I'll say for non-spoilers.
Yeah, just to say about David Gordon Green, he did Pineapple Express, which
That's
was
right.
like
Okay.
obviously,
That's right.
and then he did.
Yeah.
Then he did Stronger with Jake Gyllenhaal in, which that's like a really emotional sort of movie.
Oh,
So
I
very,
didn't
very
realize he did
different.
that.
Them two examples very different from what he's doing
Yeah.
now. And he should probably go back. He probably should go back to them, to be honest, from what it
Yeah.
sounds like.
Okay.
I remember seeing Stronger. I remember quite enjoying that one, actually.
Yeah, that was.
good.
And
Yeah.
Pineapple Express, I thought was good for the time. I haven't seen in years, but yeah, anything but horror he seems to be okay at.
It's just stay in your lane.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. We've got Daniel Berry here. He's saying, "Yo,
Daniel.
hey Daniel, hope you're doing well, my friend." The View Drew, he says, "Have you seen the 2010 Wolfman remake starring Benicio del Toro? And if so, what are your thoughts?" Haven't seen it, so
No.
I'm out.
I've seen it.
Jason, you haven't seen it either.
No. I
Kieran?
don't think it did very well, if I remember right.
No, I think it was a box office bomb.
I think so, if I remember right.
Yeah. Have you seen it, Kieran?
No, I've not seen it, but I've heard some bad things. So that's like I was saying. That's why I'm leaving it.
Yeah.
There. Sin?
I have seen it. I've seen it twice. I remember the first time I watched it was years ago, and I remember that it didn't have a great reception. And I saw it when it came out on video, and I liked it okay. It was just okay. And then I rewatched it, and maybe I liked it a tad more. I don't outright hate it. It's not a masterpiece, but it's fun to see Benicio del Toro and also Emily Blunt. I think that was their first pairing, and then they came back together again for Sicario.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Well, I really like Sicario. I didn't realize Emily Blunt was in The Wolfman. Wow.
Yeah, she was. She was like his sort of love interest-ish character. Very dark and atmospheric for sure.
Okay, well, I like Benicio del Toro, so yeah, it's a shame that
he's always fun to watch, you know.
Yeah, he's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so good in Sicario.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That dinner scene is just like wow,
Oof.
lights out.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like Sicario. I like both of them, to be honest. So
Yeah.
And Patrick, have you seen The Wolfman?
I have not seen The Wolfman, but I will substitute a movie that I thought was a lot of fun, and I'd like to see what you guys thought about it, since we're talking about Universal Monsters. Well, what did you guys think of I, Frankenstein?
I don't think I saw that
Is
one.
that
I think I missed it in cinemas.
Yeah.
I don't think is that the one with what's his face?
Is it Daniel Radcliffe?
And Aaron Eckhart.
Aaron Eckhart.
Aaron Eckhart.
Right.
I honestly don't remember if I have seen that, and if I have, I just completely forgot.
Yeah, I saw it. I
So
don't
I
remember a lot,
can't
except they're
comment.
trying to make this whole lore and trying to make this whole Frankenstein kind of lore thing, which is kind of interesting how they did that.
It was a lot of fun. I really liked it. I know it got roasted, but honestly,
Yeah.
it was a very fun movie. And Kevin Grievous was in that as well, and he was the gentleman who created the Underworld world films.
Oh, I like the first Underworld.
Yeah, I like Eckhart though. He was really doing a lot of great roles at that time.
Still doing them.
Yeah. I like Aaron Eckhart as well. You don't really hear a lot about him.
He's
was
still
in the
he's
dark.
still out there working.
Yeah, he was in The Dark Knight, wasn't he? So
Yeah.
that was like his big thing, and he was good in that.
Yeah.
See. Yeah, I agree. See, Elgin says that I Frankenstein was surprisingly good. It really was. I went into it with no expectations because I had heard about the reviews. We're just roasting it, but when I watched it, I was really impressed. I thought it was a lot of fun, a lot of heart.
Yeah, it was a different take on the story where I forget who was he fighting. I forget now.
It's actually more spiritual. There were angels and demons, and he was like,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, they were fighting over him.
Oh wow!
And it was
I can
really
remember
really
I saw
good.
that.
Well, it's cool to hear that.
That's another movie that Henry Cavill did that got dumped on, and that was Immortals.
I heard about, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Same sort of deal.
I heard about Immortals as well. Yeah, I think it was set up for a sequel and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Just don't cast Henry Cavill in anything else. He'll just get cancelled.
Poor Henry Cavill. I swear.
He's kryptonite.
Yeah.
Poor guy, man. Poor guy. But no, I might have to check out though that I, Frankenstein, know Patrick and Jason. At least it sounds fun compared to the bad reviews you guys said it's mostly gotten. So it's cool.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. I don't think, if I remember right.
No, it was good.
Okay, and I say I like Aaron Eckhart as well, so I might have to check it out. We've got Ryan from RWR. Hey, Ryan. He says, "What do you think are the top 2 Halloween costumes this year?" I'm not surprised by either. Okay, I'm guessing this is in an online article or a poll.
Probably.
Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be
That's
great.
the first thing that comes to mind.
I was
Yeah.
going to say Barbie or Ken.
Yeah, like
One
or
of those
something like
two
that. But then I
characters
just
in
thought
the-
Oppenheimer because they were making such a big deal out of
Yeah.
those 2 films. So
Yeah.
you got to let us know, Ryan. What are they?
Okay.
Does the Oppenheimer costume come with an atomic bomb?
I went to a Halloween party last night actually, and there was so many Barbie and Kens. And just like this is just like the film. There's just so many Kens here. Like it's
Too
just
many.
crazy. Yeah, it's just too many.
Well, since I got married, we haven't done had given out candy, But I remember when I was living by myself, and I loved, giving out candy. It was so fun seeing the kids and what they're dressed as. And the number one costume, this was probably back in 2014, 15. The number one costume was Elsa from Frozen. Every girl was Elsa. I just remember that.
Yeah.
Including
big
Jason.
trends.
Jason was also dressed.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's just one of those with the trends, isn't it? Though obviously Frozen. Was
Yeah.
big then. Barbie's been huge this year. So, Ryan has answered. He's answered a little bit
okay.
later on in the comments.
Okay.
He says the answer is Barbie and
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot
Yeah.
that. Wednesday was a big
Yeah.
deal.
Wednesday Adams.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an
That
interesting.
needs a season 2.
Yeah.
It's getting a season 2. I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm looking forward to that.
I think General Ortega's busy shooting Beetlejuice 2 at the moment. That they're still doing that. Obviously,
Yeah.
after the strike and stuff's finished, of course. Jay Hawthorne was just guessing about some deviation of Barbenheimer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got 2 penny puppets saying that Scarface, I believe, is in the cinema in 2 weeks' time.
Oh.
Okay. Not in the UK anyway. Maybe you guys in the States are getting
Poor
that
Mike.
one. I know. We don't really get much, I'll be honest. Got the viewer Drew saying, after seeing how painful the American Werewolf in London transformation was, I wouldn't want to be a werewolf.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
all look
Yeah.
painful.
Yeah.
They're never represented as anything that's just super cool or awesome. They all look extremely painful.
Yeah. They have to go through a painful transformation
Yeah.
to get to that transformation, not just a
Exactly.
simple snap of the fingers and that's it.
Don't just grow fangs and it's over.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't vampires kind of seduce young women too? Isn't that like a thing?
Yeah, they're supposed to have this ability to like hypnotize or captivate. There's a word, I can't remember it, but yeah.
Yeah. So vampires, they got the whole thing. It seems
Yeah,
like.
they do. They're supposed to be so cool and suave and everything.
Yeah.
I will say this as far as the werewolf transformation goes. Of course, the American Werewolf in London is the first, but I tell you the one I liked, even though it was CGI, but I love the transformation of Van Helsing, where Hugh Jackman turns into a werewolf. That was pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also in Underworld, those are
Yes,
Underworld,
gnarly looking.
very
Yeah.
much.
See, I remember seeing Van Helsing in the cinema back in the day when it was released, but I've not seen the movie since that time. But I think I've heard it's not meant to be great. I've heard.
Yeah.
You know, Van
it's
Helsing would have been great except for the last 5 minutes.
Mm.
The last 5 minutes just killed the movie. It's just like that's how you're ending it. You had such a great movie, and then this is how you're ending it. It's just so weak. It was just like, no, who said that? Who approved that? That's terrible.
Didn't they do a remake of Van Helsing?
You mean
They did a
since then?
cartoon. They did a prequel.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like an
Assignment London.
anime-ish style
Yeah.
or something?
Okay.
Assignment London, and it was him when he was after Jekyll and Hyde that went ahead
yeah.
and
Oh,
transferred
okay.
to the first movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I'd seen like some kind of remake or something somewhere. I just hadn't checked it out. That's cool.
They did a girl. Yeah, you're right. They did a series called Van Helsing, or just Helsing, and
That's the one.
about the girl who was related to Van Helsing. Yeah.
That's the one. I never saw it.
Yeah, I haven't. I know that. I like the Helsing anime with about the Helsing family and how they basically. Have you guys ever seen it? The Helsing anime?
Heard of it.
Oh, I love that. Anime was just really good, and Crispin Freeman was so good as the voice of Alucard, which of course obviously is Dracula, and he's basically the servant of the Helsing family, and he does their bidding, and he's bloodthirsty, and the way that character is written is so cool and awesome, and the way Crispin does his voice is really, really good. So you might like to check that out sometime.
Yeah, well, I love anime, so
I know you do. That's why it surprises me you haven't seen it. They have like the Helsing, and then they came and they did Helsing Ultimate, which I think in a similar way is kind of like how they did with Full Metal Alchemist, where they did the original and then they came back and they did Brotherhood, which follows the manga. I think that's a similar sort of thing they did with Helsing, and there's not a ton of episodes, but each one just has maybe, I don't know, 10 or just just a handful. It's not a ton. So.
That's good, because a lot of anime series, I like the ones that shorter episodes in the seasons, because some of them have like 50 episodes seasons
some are just like way too many. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's very true. We've got Del Boy here as well, so hey Del Boy, hope you're well. He says, hello you handsome beasts and lovely lady. Question. You can only save one film for Halloween, Thanksgiving and Christmas. What film is it for each of the three, and why those choices? Jay Hawthorne is saying in the chat, he says, got to go with Young Frankenstein, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, and White Christmas. Okay, well, that's a very interesting question. I think the only Thanksgiving movie I know is Planes, Trains and Automobiles, so I'm going to have to go that one for that.
Yeah.
It's the only one I know. And it's a great movie as well, that helps. I'm going to have to think about Halloween and Christmas. If you guys have got any answers, feel free to shout them out. Go for it.
Well, Halloween, obviously. Halloween 1978. And for Christmas, maybe Die Hard. And for Thanksgiving, I don't know. I'm not super into like family or comedy types of movies. So maybe, there is a Thanksgiving horror movie coming up directed by Eli Roth, I think. So maybe after I see that, if I love it, that would be my pick for the Thanksgiving one.
I was going to say, Sin, I'm looking forward to that movie as well. But I'm just trying to hold out hopes at the moment.
Yeah.
In case it sucks.
Right.
But no, a great choice. Yeah, of course, the original Halloween, great pick. And what about Christmas, did you say?
Die Hard.
Die Hard, okay.
Yeah.
Is it a Christmas movie, guys?
Yes, it absolutely is.
Yeah.
Don't even argue.
Of course it is.
But then at the same time, I don't know if you guys have seen this, by the way. Quick interesting fact. They released the official poster for Terrifier 3 today, and it's going to be set at Christmas time.
Oh,
so that's going to be a new Christmas movie.
That's a Christmas classic. Yeah.
Christmas classic.
Kids, get around. Let's watch Terrifier 3.
Christmas one that's good is Black Christmas. That's kind of...
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. Like the original, that one's actually really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I really love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But no, great choices in. I haven't seen Die Hard, so I can't comment.
Mike!
You haven't seen Die Hard?
What?
I think I've told this. I think I've told this story before, where a couple of years ago they put it on at the cinema. So I thought, right, well, first every time I'm going to see it, I'm going to see it on the big screen as well.
Yeah.
So I got there 15 minutes early. So I like to get there early, sit down, sometimes watch the trailers, depending on what mood I'm in. So I sat in, and the cinema wasn't air-conned at all. So it was really warm. But I thought, look, I'm going to suffer through it. I'm going to die, watch this movie. So yes, so it's meant to start like the trailers. 20 minutes later, no trailers had started whatsoever. And by this point, I say it was like a sauna already. I'd been sat there like 35 minutes.
Oh.
And there was no sign of it starting. So I was like, yeah, I'm just leaving. So I left, and I still haven't seen it to this day.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. You got to fix that this year.
Yeah.
I've seen
you should
Die
watch
Hard.
it on Christmas Day.
I'm going to watch it. I've seen Die Hard 5, if that helps.
Oh,
No, it doesn't.
You did it all wrong, Mike.
I know.
Yeah,
All wrong.
The first two are
I know.
the best. I like number one, but my favorite is number two.
I haven't seen number 2 in a long time.
Oh man, that was so good.
I feel like
It's
I should
so
check
good.
it out again.
I don't think number 3 gets a lot of love, and I'm surprised by that.
Is that
I
the one
enjoy
with
3.
Samuel
But
Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Third one?
Where it's just them two just running around, and yeah, it's just I like that movie a lot more than other people.
I think
Yeah,
because of the
4 and
I think
5.
it did-
Oh god.
I think 3 sort of got hammered because of the plot. The plot was really cheesy.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was really cheesy. So
Yeah.
I think
It wasn't a Die Hard plot, but they put Die Hard in it somehow or something.
it was goofy. It was like there was just like no one's gonna believe that shit. I can believe 1 and 2. I can believe that could happen, but 3 was just cheesy.
Well,
I've heard
Long
one-
Kiss Goodnight was a good sort of it was a good movie. It took place on not Halloween, around Christmas time with Gina Davis and Samuel L. Jackson. So the discussion of Die Hard reminded me of that one.
That's
So
a great movie.
you could count that one as a Christmas film, sort of.
Randy Harlan's going to be doing the Strangers trilogy, the reboot. I think Randy Harlan directed a Die Hard. I want to say.
Oh, okay.
I think he did.
I'm not sure. I've heard about the Strangers trilogy coming though.
Mm-hmm.
Just to add to this chat, we've got Harry from Hail 'em Hey Harry.
Oh,
He says
Jingle
Jingle
All
All
the
the Way.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
Turbo
Schwarzenegger.
Man. There he is.
Great pick. He says yes, Die Hard's 100% a
Thank
Christmas
you.
movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Sai saying for Halloween, Season of the Witch, Planes, Trains, and Automobile for Thanksgiving, and Die Hard for Christmas.
Which is a good pick. Yep.
Okay. And he says it's not Christmas until Hans Gruber falls from the
Exactly.
Plaza.
Exactly. So my brother is a 911 dispatcher in Los Angeles County, and I think every Christmas he does some sort of funny report about the terrorists at the Nakatomi Plaza. I wish I could remember all the details of how he does it, but it's really funny because he like puts out the call or something. It's funny. It's hilarious. You have to be there, I guess.
That would be pretty cool to hear as well, especially as a dispatcher. Yeah. I've heard about this scene though in Die Hard, so I pretty much know what happens in the movie anyway.
So
but...
have you heard the scene about how when they initiated the drop, he wasn't prepared for it? And
I don't know about the trivia stuff.
Yeah,
no.
so that look of shock and surprise on his face was real.
Oh,
Whenever
okay.
you get to that part, that's a real. He's got some real shock emotion going on there. He's not acting.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's well beloved Die Hard, so I'm going to get to it. My plans this year for Christmas, I'm going to get to Die Hard eventually this year, and also It's a Wonderful Life because I've never seen it.
Yeah.
You know,
so
me either.
I definitely want to.
Never seen that one either.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay. Might have to get you on for a class.
If you guys want a good Christmas movie, if you guys want a good Christmas movie, a good romantic Christmas movie that's off the beaten path, highly recommend a movie called The Christmas Train with Delmont Mulroney and Danny Glover and Kimberly Williams. Really, really good. Really good.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah.
It's based off a book by David Balducci, but it's a really heartwarming movie.
David
Okay, but
Balducci, he doesn't typically do, doesn't he typically do like mystery or suspense type of?
Yeah.
Okay.
okay, well, I love Danny Glover, so I'm on board.
Oh, he's so good. He's so good in that movie. In the Christmas Train, he's so good. He's a lot of fun to watch in that.
No, that's a cool pick, and also Dermot Mulroney as well. Yeah, he's good. Well, with the question, Kieran, what are you going for?
For Halloween, I'm going to go with the original Halloween film, just such a great classic. Christmas, I'll say Home Alone, just because it's just your standard one, and when you show somebody that for the first time, that last sort of 15-20 minutes just is so funny. But for Thanksgiving, it's kind of hard, but I remember watching a movie called Dutch, which was directed by John Hughes, and it had Ed O'Neill in, and I really liked him in Modern Family. That was my introduction to him. So when I was looking for his filmography, found this one, and it wasn't received well at the time, but now as it's gone on, it's been more appreciated. So yeah, that'll be mine. That's the only Thanksgiving film I think I've watched.
Hey, some great picks, man. I've never heard of Dutch though. That's a new one.
Yeah, directed by John Hughes. I
like John Hughes' previous work, so yeah, I'm gonna check that one out. Jason?
Yeah, well, for Halloween, this might be surprising, but I really like It Chapter 1.
of course, yeah.
It's good.
It's one of the few horror movies I actually kind of enjoyed.
Oh.
Because I'm not a horror fan.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, it's shocking, but Pennywise to me is one of the best villainous roles I've ever seen. I just so interested in that character, and the way he's portrayed. Very interesting. And I don't get too scared during it. I don't get too grossed out, but yeah, I think the performance is really good. I really like the performance, and I really like the ending when the kids get together and beat up the clown. I think it's such a good scene.
Yeah,
but,
great movie.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. Yeah, I don't know much about what would be a Thanksgiving movie. Like you said, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, I guess, is one that everybody thinks about. I couldn't remember, was Due Date a Thanksgiving movie? I don't remember now. But I'm sure there's some other.
Due Date?
Due Date? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know why.
Is that the Robert Downey Jr. one?
What's that?
He was in something called that, but I don't remember much about it.
Movie
Robert
with
Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis.
I've seen that one.
That might not be.
Maybe
I'm just thinking it reminds me of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So I might be wrong on that one. But Christmas, I absolutely love this animation movie called Klaus that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's not that old of a movie.
It's like 2019.
2019, yeah. Yeah, 2019, yeah, because it came out like the same time as Toy Story 4. And Klaus, I absolutely love that movie. Like I always say, that was one of the best movies I've ever seen that I was not expecting at all. And it's one of those movies that I like cry every time I watch it. It like brings tears to my eyes. It's done so beautifully. And it's the best movie I've ever seen that's about Santa, that kind of is about the origin story of Santa Claus. I love that idea of where did Santa Claus come from, and that movie does it so good that that's one I really love watching.
Hey, well, some awesome picks, Jason. I know you love Klaus a lot. I definitely want to check that out at some point as well. And yeah, Due Date, I don't know if it's set around Thanksgiving, but yeah, I enjoyed that movie as well. And Halloween, I'm surprised you enjoyed a horror movie, Jason.
I know, yeah, it's surprising.
Especially as you don't.
What do you think about? What did you think about It Chapter 2? Did you enjoy that as much?
I liked the second one, just not as much as the first one because it just felt too long.
Yeah.
But still had some good moments in it, I think.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
do.
Patrick, how about yourself?
I guess for Halloween, I would go with Trick or Treat, the anthology with Sam. For Thanksgiving, yeah, I probably have to go with Plane, Trains, Automobiles. That's a pretty interesting movie. And for Christmas, I would actually probably go with Die Hard 2 because I love that one so much.
Well, some great picks, Patrick, and yeah, Trick or Treat's always a cool anthology movie as well. I really like that one. So yeah, great picks. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a great question. I think for Halloween, I don't know. I don't really have like a staple Halloween one personally, so I'd either have to go original Halloween or Trick or Treat, possibly.
Not Halloween End.
No.
We're back to that. We're back to that one.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Have you noticed that no one's have you actually noticed that no one's really talked about the trilogy this year? I've noticed that. I've noticed everybody reviewing all these movies, but no one has really gone back to look at those three.
Well, because they were just such a disaster.
Yeah.
And they really divided a lot of fans, and it was just such a mess. It's just not solid. That's why.
I agree, and I don't think they're ones where probably a lot of people go back and want to revisit them over and over again.
Just the 2018 one. That's it.
Yeah, that one's a good one. And I think for Christmas, I mean, of course, Home Alone, especially as a kid and stuff. And recent adult years, though, my favorite kind of one is probably Almost Christmas. It's with Danny Glover. I think it came out about maybe 2015-ish time. That one's a really nice, heartwarming, sweet kind of Christmas story as well. Really funny as well. So I'd recommend that one if you guys haven't seen it.
Danny Glover can do Christmas.
I guess so.
Even though he's too old, he can still do it.
What was that Thanksgiving movie where the turkey's killing people?
Oh, Thanksgiving?
The Thanksgiving?
That's the one. I watched that last year. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's not on your list of.
I completely forgot about it. Yeah, I watched that last year. That was fun. So stupid, but so funny. Gosh. You guys know me. If it's a good movie, I've not seen it. If it's a bad movie,
you're there. You are there for the
you're there for the bad ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. We've got quite a few comments. So yeah, you guys are killing it. In terms of like horror, Jay's saying Invisible Man is still pretty mind blowing. Yeah,
the original or the.
I think the recent one.
Talking about the original or the one from like 2020 or whatever.
I think the original.
Yeah, it has to be. Okay.
And Patrick's. I was going to say Patrick went all funky with the camera there for a second. I don't know
sorry about that.
Ryan's adding he wasn't big on Rosemary's Baby either. One time watch. Yeah, I would agree with that. But you'll hear more of my thoughts very soon in a video coming. Let's have a look. Jay saying it's a shame William Shatner never showed up.
That would have been hilarious.
That would be great.
That would have been great.
It would have been a highlight for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Would that have made Halloween Ends better potentially? I'm not sure. Could he have saved it potentially?
No, it wouldn't have made it better. But it would have been cool to see.
I'm trying to be positive about it. I'm trying to put a positive spin on it.
Nothing makes it worse at this point. You might as well.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Ryan's saying snores and all those. Don't remind me. Oh man, I dislike that movie a lot. Jason, probably little scene horror film recommendation. Frailty, directed by Bill Paxton.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Great movie.
I've heard of it. This one, I've not seen it though.
Yeah.
You never seen Frailty either? Oh.
Patrick, you'll soon learn, my
Yes,
friend.
he's a
I've not
thing
seen a
with
lot.
Mike. It's like a whole thing with him.
How long is your to watch list?
It's in my tombstone. That's how far it is.
That could be a show all in itself, right there. Movies I need to catch up on.
Oh yeah. Oh
Well,
yeah.
you know, like people probably make a list of like, oh, top 10 movies I've never seen. Mine would be like top 10,000 I've never seen. I don't say I might make a video at some point, but yeah, man, I've not seen Frailty. No.
Oh, that's all right, man. I'm in your boat too. I haven't seen a lot of the recent movies. I have to wait before they get till I get them at the library, because a lot of times I can't, because a lot of the movies that I miss, they don't go to Tubi. The premium movies, they just go from Disney Plus to that's the only time you're gonna get a chance to see them. Well, I miss a lot, so I'm with you.
But I mean, in your case though, Patrick, I mean, it saves you a fortune, man. 25 cents a movie.
Yeah, that's why I've gotten really, really patient. I learned to be patient. Like when it comes out and I see people run into the store to get it, I'm like, no, I'll just wait and wait. It'll come to me. It'll come
to me.
Yeah. The DVD whisperer over there, Patrick.
I'm just sitting there,
come
just
to
like,
me, children.
Just drop it down. Drop it down.
No, that's amazing, man. I'm gonna have to check my local library as well. Kieran's there tomorrow by the sounds of it.
Libraries are awesime. Libraries are awesome.
I'm headed to the library. It's not for books.
If you guys have seen some of the hauls I pull out, I mean, it's amazing the stuff I find. And the thing is, it's not only the library donates, but a lot of it's private donations. And our town where I live in, there's a lot of people watching a lot of quality movies. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say though, if you can get them that cheap, you'd be daft, not to really, or rushing to see them when you can get it that cheap. Yeah.
It's definitely good deals.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Si's coming and he's saying that Frailty's so good as well, so he really enjoys it.
Yeah, Frailty's really good.
Harry's saying, hey everyone, he's saying, good to see you all. Good to see you too, Harry. Thanks for stopping in. He says, has anyone seen Killers of the Flower Moon yet? I feel like my opinion has changed since seeing it and reviewing it. Oh, okay. I don't think I've seen any reviews on it because I've not checked the movie out yet. Have any of you guys seen this one?
No, I wasn't really interested to watch. I'm not super crazy about Scorsese, so just it doesn't even interest me at all. So I doubt I'll watch it.
No. That's fair enough. And plus, I think it's like 3 hours and 20 minutes.
3.5 hours long. Yeah, and I'm curious to know what how your opinion changed on it, Halem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Harry, if you're still watching, let us know how your opinion's changed. If it's gotten better or gotten worse, let us know. I think, Kieran, maybe last live stream you mentioned you'd just seen the movie at that point. I might be wrong.
Yeah, that's
correct.
A few days ago.
Yeah, I watched it on the Thursday, and then we did the review on the Saturday and heard Sam's points and Jackson's points. Yeah, I'm interested to. I think it's one of them movies because it's so heavy. You just sort of feel like when you're listening to different people's reviews and opinions, you can see your outlook change. But yeah, 3.5 hour film in a cinema room where they had no aircon in there at all. It was absolutely boiling in there. So yeah, but yeah, it's Scorsese. The grandeur's there, and I think it's a movie that definitely will be spoken about for Oscars. Because I think it's got that type of story, and I think Leo's going to get nominated in there for sure, and Lily Gladstone, who plays his wife as well. 2 really good performances.
Yeah, it seems like it's an Oscar kind of movie, and I think those nominations, I think, probably fair to say. Yeah. I definitely do want to check it out. It's just sparing 3.5 hours plus trailers, so nearly 4 hours in a day to go check it out. But I've heard great things.
Can I have just 1 minute, Mike?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I want to give a shout out to one of the guys in the chat right here, Jay Algernon Hawthorne.
Oh, yeah.
This is my guy when we had the family video stores here. That's where I used to go shopping all the time. Eric, Eric, and his and another girl named Ashley. Those two right there were responsible for me to find up all my IOC movies I talk about all the time. Those guys hooked me up with so many good deals. I learned the art of bargain hunting. I learned it from them. They took such good care of me. Fantastic knowledge of films. Every time I walk in to the store, Eric would he would have a classic movie playing. It was amazing. He's responsible for him and Ashley and a few other people. They're responsible for like 75% of my collection. I got so many great deals from these guys. I always appreciate them. And that's Jay Algen on Hawthorne. So if you guys want to see a really smart cinephile, he's amazing. Thanks.
Oh man, yeah, awesome. No, it sounds like a legend. Yeah, that's really cool. And of course, like having those local stores, like you guys used to have like Family Video and stuff. Yeah, we also had Blockbuster in the UK. Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah.
Them. Harry's comment about Kills of the Flower Moon. He says, I think I gave it too much of a pass. The more I process it, the less I like it. Oh, okay. Kieran, do you agree with this?
I think it's a very strong opinion, and I do agree with where he's coming from, because I think it's the expectation, isn't it, of having Scorsese as your director, Leonardo DiCaprio being Robert De Niro as well. So I think it's the time. I think if it was a different director directing it, would it be that long? Scorsese's well known for these longer movies, so I understand exactly where he's coming from. Actually, but that's the whole point of movies, and having the opportunity to sort of share your thoughts after you've watched it a bit further.
Right. And yeah, I think it's one of those with sometimes the 3.5 hour movies. Like, how often are you going to rewatch something that's long?
Yeah, it's not got the rewatchability of his other movies, but mainly because of probably the subject matter as well. Probably doesn't help when you've got such a dark and subject matter. You don't really particularly want to watch it again in comparison to his other films.
Right, exactly. So no, well said, man. I'm definitely intrigued to check it out, though. See if we've got similar feelings to you guys, or maybe different. And it'd be interesting to hear what Sin has to say as well, if she ever gets a chance to check it out.
If I do, I may never. I probably would prefer to watch a documentary about the story. Like, it seems like something I would just get more out of watching a documentary. But I don't know. Scorsese just doesn't really do it too much for me. I mean, I like some of his stuff, but it's just. I just don't mesh well with his style, I think. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. And I know it's like, I said, like his latest movies have been really long. Like The Irishman was another one.
That's so long.
Yeah, he does typically tend to focus on subject matter, too, that doesn't, like, he kind of is known as like a mob director, because of some of the movies and that just doesn't do anything for, like, I don't like movies like that at all. So I was not interested in The Irishman. I only watched it because I was like, I didn't watch it, but I was in the room when it was being played. So it was like, gosh.
Oh, I get you. Yeah. I've still yet to see it. I'll be honest. I've not had any urgency to, Sin, kind of like the same with yourself.
Yeah.
We've got Sai with a question. He says, what do you think of Gary Oldman's portrayal of Dracula? And Sai personally loves it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I think Sin's agreeing.
That was the movie. That was the movie that made me look at Gary Oldman with different eyes. I was like, oh, he's hot. I never really thought of him that way before, but there was something about the way he played that character. He was so empathetic to me. I just felt for him, and the torment that he was a creature and everything. But then I worked on the audiobook for the actual book because our company did our version of the audiobook, and I had never read that book before. And so, of course, when I'm working on the audiobook, I'm thinking about the differences between the actual book and the movie. In the movie, they definitely delve very heavily into romance angle between Dracula and Mina, and in the book, not really, no. There was no romance. So he was obviously was going after her, but she wasn't really reciprocating the way it was showing in the movie. So they definitely added some stuff to it. And the final battle in the book was over in like a page or half a page, as opposed to the movie was much more dramatic, you know. Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's cool that you got to work on the audiobook and compare those two differences.
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
it was great. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And when was Gary Oldman's Dracula?
90.
90s.
92?
Yeah.
Wasn't it a 92
Yeah.
movie? Yeah.
Early 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
And is it just called Dracula?
It's called
Bram
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Dracula.
Yeah, which is why I was
I've heard of that
comparing
title, okay.
those two. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Right. Wow, I didn't picture him as a Dracula, but okay. It's something different.
You should check it out. He does a pretty good job.
I've seen the poster art like so many times. And I've
Yeah.
heard of like the Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
I've
try
heard good
to
things.
excuse poor Keanu Reeves' attempt at the British accent.
Yeah, the British.
Yeah,
Orient.
poor Keanu. He got ripped so bad for that.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Oh man, I can't imagine how bad it is. Oh, I'm kind of intrigued.
It's pretty bad, but the movie itself is I thought it was really good.
I always say the brilliance of John Wick is that Keanu Reeves doesn't talk that much. And that's
Right.
what makes those movies
You don't
so
need
good.
to.
No,
They actually say that his dialogue decreased with every film.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, if they make enough one, he'll have no dialogue at all then, will he? He's just like, yeah.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Get me a
back.
gun. That's what he usually says, something along those lines. Oh, man. But yeah, Jason, are you a fan of this movie?
I can't say I'm a fan, but it was a big movie at the time from what I remember. I think it even got nominated for some Oscars as well, maybe for makeup or something. Makeup work was really well done on Dracula, if I remember right.
Mhm.
Some pretty brutal kills though, if I remember right too.
Okay. And
But
do you
Gary
think that-
Oldman's great. I think Gary Oldman's a great actor.
Oh, yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah, definitely agree. Oh, no, well, cool hearing your thoughts, man. Patrick, have you seen this one?
Not for a very long time. Yeah, not for a long time. I do remember it though, and I remember it had off. It was huge when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't really. Yeah, it's been years.
No, fair enough. Kieran?
No, I've not seen this one. I'm a big fan of Gary Oldman as well, so I will now check it out. From what it sounds like, so yeah, no, he's a great actor. But I heard that they're making a new Dracula one with Chloe Zhao, who did Eternals for Marvel and then Nomadland. She's doing a Dracula film, so that excites me. So yeah.
Well, not with those two movies you just mentioned, man.
I know.
Well, no.
I wasn't a fan of Eternals and Nomadland was boring.
I think it's more the subject matter rather than the director. Let's go with that.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think so. So hopefully, with Dracula, it might be a movie that really puts them all on the map. Hopefully,
Fingers crossed.
So, is there any rumors, Kieran, just to follow on with that, who might be the new Dracula?
No. All I've heard is her name attached to it. So no, nothing else. But potentially Henry Cavill. Let's give him something. Let's
Man, well, that'd be one ripped Dracula.
just a bit, yeah, just a bit.
Oh my god!
I will say, after seeing Renfield, I think Nicolas Cage would be great.
Nicolas Cage is so good.
Oh, you could tell he was having so much fun in that role.
Well, he's always wanted to play Dracula in his career, so if he wants to play it, he's going to do the best, you know.
Amming it up, man.
I got to talk. I interviewed the guy who did his makeup.
Really?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dan
man.
Crawley. Yeah, it's on my I did it for 8 questions with, and it's fantastic.
Oh,
Cool.
Yeah, he's got skills.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I'll have to check that one out, Patrick. Yeah, but that was a lot of fun. Yeah. Well, we've got Jay adding to the conversation. He's saying, "Yeah, he's the only on-screen Dracula that's accurately repulsive.
mhm.
Bela Lugosi is handsome and suave. Gary Oldman
Yeah.
is down icky."
Yeah.
Well, it depends on which part, obviously, of the movie. Like, there's portions where he's not. Like the part once he goes to London and he's there, he looks like this suave gentleman. Obviously, before that, yeah, he's pretty gross looking when he's more
Yeah.
full form. Yeah, for sure. And then at one point, he looks like a werewolf type of beast, almost like a dog werewolf beast thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna have to check this one out though. Yeah.
All right, you must.
I've honestly heard a lot about it. As well.
But of
And
course,
Gary Oldman,
you
I'm
have
sold.
not seen it. It's 30
Right.
years old, plus years old, and you still haven't seen it.
Yeah. It's a good movie since I've not seen it.
That's right.
I'm thinking
right.
for Z Talk 63, we should see Mike read off the movies from his to watch list.
Right. It would take up it would take up hours, I'm sure.
I take up a long time.
I'll be doing another 12-hour charity live stream if that was the case, Patrick, and I'll still not be done. I'll be like, right, guys, that's part 1 done in 12 hours.
Oh,
Back to
gosh.
part 2.
That's just the A's or something.
That's
After
just
the
the A's, yeah.
Anyway.
Oh man, it's bad. It's bad. But I watched Rosemary's Baby. There's another one ticked off the list.
Okay.
Yeah,
Slowly
yeah.
but surely, maybe you'll
Yeah.
get around.
I watched Cocaine Cougar, guys. There we go. There's
Oh my
another one
gosh,
off the
Mike!
Mike,
list.
Stop
fine then.
torturing yourself with these awful films.
Oh my gosh!
You're passing up so many good ones.
Did you really watch Cocaine Cougar?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh my
I've
god! I didn't know you had. No. Oh.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, so before coming on to the live stream, I've done my review. It's edited all up, but my editor's having a real problem rendering it out. Like it keeps crashing all the time. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to re-record the review again. I don't know.
Oh no! Wow.
Because I wanted to go into the channel like next week.
Will this be like a one-word review?
Oh no, it's about 9 minutes of me like ripping into the movie.
That's almost half the movie though. 9 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not kidding, right? So just to give you guys context, I'll say this in the review, and Patrick knows about this. So the first like 6 minutes is like basically like intro title cards. You then get like 34 minutes of a movie, and then the last 10 minutes is all credits.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
The
very
full movie's
short.
like
Very
like
short.
34 minutes,
That's Dustin
Oh.
Ferguson.
and it's still longer than it should be.
Oh, so it's
34
a short
minutes.
film. Okay. I didn't
But
realize that.
That's every Dustin Ferguson movie though. Under an hour and padded more than a bra.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Okay.
Well, that's an analogy there right there for you, Patrick. Well, we've got a couple more comments and we will be wrapping this up. But we've got the viewer Drew. He says, "Good news! My Blu-ray copies of Mission Impossible 7 and Blue Beetles are coming soon."
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, well, awesome, man. Enjoy your Blu-ray copies when you do get them, Drew. Yeah, Mission Impossible 7. Yeah, really good movie. Blue Beetle was fun. So yeah, I hope you enjoy them, man. And he says, "What's a movie from this year that you had no expectations for and that ended up being surprised by?" Oh, that's a good question.
Real good question.
It is a good one.
Jason?
A movie I really liked that I wasn't expecting was Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Amongst Thieves. I thought that was a fun movie. Like, there are some really funny moments, and I thought it was a good fantasy elements as well, and it's actually one of my favorite movies of the year. I was really kind of surprised.
That's a great pick. Yeah, and I'm with you. I thought the trailer looks terrible.
Me too.
And,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw it on like my cinema put on like an early screen like 2 weeks before general release, and I was like, wow, this was a lot of fun. I was like, I really want to see a sequel.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a great pick. Yeah. Sin?
Well, there were different ones that I had like really not super high expectations for or whatever, but probably the one that most accurately fits this question it surprised me at how good it was probably A Million Miles Away. I thought it was just going to be this just ho hum true life. Oh, okay, all right, it was good, but it was actually really heartwarming and very sweet. I really enjoyed that movie, and that's not generally the type of thing I gravitate toward. Also, The Burial, which is another true life story, with Jamie Foxx and Tommy Lee Jones. But Million Miles Away was a lot of fun. I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did.
No, that's awesome. And I know you got to do like a press screening or like an early screening of Amazon.
It was an early screening, yeah, for that one. It wasn't a press screening, but an early screening, and that theater was packed, and there were so many people crowding around the table at the end to write down their thoughts about it. So the audience really loved it, and I can see why. It was very good.
No, that's awesome. And I know you got that cool poster behind you as well.
I do, yeah, because I picked it up there. And then when I rewatched it, I had my husband watch it because, a few days later it came out on Amazon, and I wanted to watch it again. And so we watched it, and I didn't realize that the real astronaut was in that movie at the very end when Michael Peña's character is getting ready to get into the shuttle. The guy that preps him a little bit before he walks in, that's the actual astronaut that the story is about. Mm-hmm. So that was cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's awesome. Usually in like those real life based movies, they'll have like the real person in somewhere along
at
the
some
line.
point. Yeah, they did the same thing in The Burial. Willie Gary, the real attorney, shows up at the end in the mid credits or something. Just a little quick scene. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, well, The Burial's on my list as well, and that Million Miles Away as well, after you give it like a rave review. So
yeah, I mean, you may not be as in love with it as I was. Obviously, everyone's mileage varies, but I just thought it was really solid storytelling.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely intrigued. Yeah, I like Michael Peña as well, so definitely be intrigued. Kieran, how about yourself?
I'm going to agree with Jason and say Dungeons and Dragons for a slightly different reason. Is that I don't really know a lot about the Dungeons and Dragons sort of in terms of the game. So I thought it was going to be like Warcraft, where like you had to get every reference, which I watched that movie and didn't get any of the references because again I've not watched it. But I thought it'd be like that, but it wasn't. But then a quick shout out I've got to give is Luthor, the Fallen Sun. That was obviously like the Netflix movie based on the TV show. Like I thought that was a really sort of decent film, and Andy Serkis as a villain was just brilliant in that. So having them two sort of against each other was really cool.
Hey, well, awesome picks, man. Yeah, I've never seen a Luthor TV series, so I can't comment on that or the movie at all. No, but I like it just
out. The series is so good, Mike.
It's really good. And I've heard good. I'm not really much of a TV series person.
No, I get it.
A movie person.
Yeah, I get it. You kind of have to commit to a lot more time with a TV show. I understand.
Right, and I didn't want to watch Rise and Sun because obviously it's connected with the show. I've heard, so I was like,
it is, but it feels like a totally different animal than the show.
Oh, okay.
To me, yeah. It was fun to watch on the big screen, but it didn't feel like it had that. It didn't feel like it captured that same vibe that the TV show had. It felt like it was trying to be really blockbustery. So you'll know if you ever get around to watching it, you'll be able to tell when you see it.
Oh yeah, well that's good to know as well, especially with it being a Netflix movie.
Yeah,
to probably try to cater for a lot more people probably.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird transition to go from like BBC to Netflix. I thought that was a bit sort of a massive jump, really.
Definitely is, yeah. Two complete different companies, yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Patrick, how about you?
I got two. One would be Consecration with Jenna Malone and Danny Houston from IFC Midnight. That was awesome. It's a great movie and a great twist ending too. Really didn't know what to get, didn't know what to expect when I got it. And it's an amazing film. But the best film I've seen this year, the one I really would recommend, there's a movie from Cinephobia releasing called Brightwood. That's a trip. That's a trippy movie. That's yeah. That's a ride.
I think you mentioned Brightwood last time we were on a stream. Yeah.
Very high on that. That's my favorite movie of the year. It's amazing. I had no idea what it was going to be about, who it was going to be about, or anything. It just got sent to me, and I watched it, and I was just blown away.
There's there's 3 movies with the title of Brightwood, but there's 2 that were very recent. One 2022 and one was 2023. Which one is the one?
2023 with Dana Berger and Max. Oh God.
Oh no, that's the 2022 one. Okay.
Got released this year. Yeah, it's directed by Dane Elkar.
Yeah, okay. On Letterboxd, it shows as 2022. Sometimes they do the dates weird on, like if it's released at a festival, even if it hasn't come out to the general public on a particular year.
Right.
So, okay. All right, well, I'll put that one on my to-watch list.
Yeah, me too. I remember Patrick was mentioning that last time, and I think I looked up the synopsis and thought, yeah, this sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a really up and coming. It's a really up and coming company, and I'll be talking to the owner of it in December. Nice. He's got an amazing eye. He can really pick out great movies, and definitely check out Cinephobia releasing. Highly recommend it.
I know you've reviewed quite a few movies from them, Patrick, so...
Yeah, I got another one I got to do coming up called The Goldsmith, which is from Italy. And looking forward to that. And then one from Spain is coming out in January called The Glass Table. I've already seen a screener of that. Yeah, that's one I will tell you. That one's that's really heavy, so be aware of that. I mean, it's heavy.
Okay. Yeah, never heard of The Glass Table either. But yeah, cool, man. I'll keep an eye out. But yeah, great hearing your guys' thoughts on this one, and great question, Drew. Yeah, I think I have to agree with Jason and Kieran. Dungeons and Dragons in general, just in terms of just being generally really surprised by it.
Yeah.
Because as I thought it looked terrible. So when they had that as the early screen, I was like, oh no, here we go. But I actually walked out with a smile. I was like, wow, that was a fun movie.
Yeah.
So I would love to see a sequel to that. Anyway. But yeah, that's going to wrap up pretty much the stream. Because sorry I didn't get to everyone's single comments, but I do want to thank you guys for watching live or after the fact. Also want to thank Patrick, Sin, Kieran, and Jason for joining me tonight. The links to all my guest channels down below in the description box are absolutely. Please go subscribe to them, go show them some love, and go check out their content. And yeah, until the next time that we'll see you guys, we'll see you later. So bye everyone.
Peace.
Bye.